The purpose of Hands of Gratitude is to provide access to prosthetics for those around the world that currently do not have access to prosthetics. And we do that by using the amazing advancements of 3D printing technology. It's also an introduction to lessons and messages of empathy and compassion and acceptance and inclusion and awareness and hope and love. All those things are on full display here, and then certainly for our recipients as well. So it's pretty cool what's happening here today at Hudson Middle School. So the kids will have the opportunity to come together, to work together in teams, to actually build these 3D printed prosthetics for actual recipients. In this case, Dominican Republic and Guatemala. So they'll be able to work together and write notes, build the hands, create little keepsakes, and then these devices will be delivered to those recipients waiting for these devices.
I love this program. I can't say enough about it. Anytime we have the opportunity for our students to feel empowered to make a difference in our world, we are all about that. We want to support their growth and their efforts. It is personally inspirational for me to see our students in action and our students engaged and all in because they know that what they're doing today with each other is making a difference for recipients around the world.
The presentation's pretty encompassing. I mean, we'll talk about the global need for prosthetics. We'll talk about how this 3D printing technology is allowing access to people that otherwise wouldn't have access. We'll tell stories of past recipients um, through video of these recipients. So it's not just me talking, it's the recipients sharing their experiences. The presentation doesn't change whether I'm working with Google and Starbucks or whether I'm working with a middle school. The content is generally the same content and the activity is generally the same activity. Oftentimes with the corporations, we'll blend in more leadership development or team building activities or initiatives or things like that. It might be part of a larger event or activity. But generally speaking, it's the same experience. And that's also been rewarding to me to know that something so simple is so impactful to such a broad range of people.
When you kind of step back and think of the big picture, I sometimes find myself when I explain the program and explain the class to other people outside of the school, I kind of have that moment where I step back and think it really is pretty incredible what we get to do. That we get to part of my job now is literally making hands for people that don't have them and that are in need and can't otherwise get them. So you have those moments throughout the day when you're helping the students build the hands and when you're teaching them about the recipient stories and the countries where the kids come from, or to take a student who had maybe never experienced that before. And by the end, they've actually made a hand for someone, connected with someone around the world, and then gone out to do something of their own with their own service learning project is pretty incredible. We get to see a lot of growth from students. The very first day the students are given the kits, Matt does his presentation introducing what Hands of Gratitude is, explains more about the countries where the people are from. They get to virtually meet a few former recipients of hands to see like what the impact these hands have on them and their family and the community. And then at the end of that first day, the students are actually given their kit with all of these things in it. And at the very end of class, they're able to open up and actually kind of virtually meet the recipient that they will be building for that week. So that's the very first day. And then the next day, they actually, I go over all the different uh, building tips and collaboration tips, and then they actually get their directions. They flip to step one, they get their tools, and they actually start building.
So these kids are working together in groups of 2, 3, and 4, and they're following the instructions and they're working as a team to come together and build the hands.
So when I'm walking around during building days, you try to find those little moments where you can try to help them with some of those, the teaching world, we call them the 21st century career and life skills, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for, and just knowing who they are and knowing that I strategically put them in certain groups.
And it's just ensuring that they are on track and they're following the instructions and that there aren't any pieces that are assembled incorrectly or anything like that. So it's really just kind of keeping them on task and answering questions that they might have.
If I try to let them follow the directions and figure it out and be each other's backup, and I try not to let myself jump in and just do it for them, but rather to, let them have that moment of being able to figure it out on their own.
It's amazing. Yeah, it never fails to excite me. It's just these to see the reaction of the kids, I think, is what gets me the most. That final crux moment when they're able to make the hand work and their reactions. I'll never get tired of that for sure.
Hands of Gratitude really gave me a glimpse into what taking action is, making a plan, and helping others. I use perseverance throughout, and all these techniques will help me in the real world. I feel empowered by this program because it helps me feel like I'm helping somebody else, and that makes me feel really good and it makes me want to do it more. I say that this is a really fun program. You get to be super creative, and you get to do a lot of working together with other people, and it's really fun. Hands of Gratitude was something that I took in a course called Service Learning. For the first part of the year, we did this program, Hands of Gratitude, where we learned about this issue in the real world, and we were empowered to take action by making a prosthetic hand for those in need. For the second part of the year, I was able to take my knowledge and experience from Hands of Gratitude, and I was able to use it on my service project, which was something that we did where we each got to go out into the real world and make a real difference.
So I work for Garfield Schools. I'm the career specialist there through the CVCC. We did have a teacher who did this last year in one of his classrooms, and I was able to see how it worked and how successful it was. So my first thought was I needed to bring it to other students in our other community of schools. And the Success Academy here was the perfect opportunity to bring the project to them.
This opportunity came about from Ms. Hasman, our career specialist here at Cuyahoga Valley Career Center, and she came to me with this idea to get involved with the Hands of Gratitude, and I was all about it. I was all into it. So the idea was to have the students engage in this service project, to be men and women for others, to engage with each other in little teamwork activities. To build the hand, to build the prosthetic hand, and see that there's stuff bigger than them. There's stuff bigger than this place, and that was the big focus here, right? Lessons in empathy, lessons in teamwork, communication, but also, getting the job done for somebody else.
My students are in educational professions, and our role in the event today was to help the students in the Success Academy put together the hands. So what I try to do is to give my students field-based experience, and today we have my juniors and seniors working with the students in the academy to help them in any way that they can. I felt a sense of great pride, and I'm just very proud of them for how they were able to work with a diverse group of students that they've never met before and assist them making the hands. So that was really amazing to see how they were able to step up to the plate and to show their own skills that they've developed.
I guess this is very exciting, very emotional to see these kids work on this and see them just be like, I was reading what they were writing to the students, what they were drawing to the students. And it was very emotional for me to see them, what they were doing. And it just gave me a sense of pride that they were working so well together to accomplish the same goal.
And they did a great job. They really they bought in, and again, kudos to everything that Mr. Campana is doing for this service, and to put the face to the person who's receiving the prosthetic hand is, I think, speaks volumes. And the students really were able to engage with that and really buy in, which was amazing to see. It's cool. It's good. I'm glad we got the kids to reflect on it, put the pencil to the paper, and just get down some thoughts, get down some feelings to let them, people process things differently, just to reflect on what it is they did today, how they approached it, how it came to fruition.
So when they reflect on what they do and what this meant to them, that's going to really give me a better clue on the total success of it, because the success comes from the individual growth and the personal growth that each one of our kids involved in this is going to receive or grow from.
I think it's great to take especially kids who normally wouldn't work together on a project and put them together in a team so they can learn to work with the different personalities, also learning about empathy, learning about outside of this world and what's going on and how they can do things to help others. So I definitely recommend this for any school.